Okay, so good to see you, Pastor Binuraj, and awesome to have you online today. And we're going to be looking at one of the elements of MDNA, the missional DNA, and we're particularly looking around this whole area of faith adventures. And I know that you're an energized guy. You're doing some stuff. You're making some things happen using your apostolic gifting, which is awesome. And so I'd just like to invite you initially to give us a bit of a summary in a nutshell around a couple of these faith adventures that you're involved in.
Thank you, Pastor Darren, for having me. I'm not as big as what you said, but doing a small little thing that what God wants me to do. Two things happened over a couple of weeks, and I just want to highlight. One is in New Plymouth. We understood there's a lot of Indian migrants there who are ready to receive the gospel. And we found a wonderful man of God by name Robin, spoke with him a couple of weeks, and then last 2 weeks he gathered a couple of people, maybe 20 people in his house, started worshiping the Lord. Then I called up Pastor Paul Cornish, who is the overseer of New Plymouth area, and I said, see, there's one young man who is preparing himself to work for the Lord. And immediately Pastor Paul Cornish introduced me to a pastor by name Alan Frost. He was just on the crisp of retirement, and probably he was also praying for that land. And God works miraculously. So the place that they were worshiping for 14 years has been handed over to us to start a pioneering work in New Plymouth, and they have named the church as Zion Assemblies of God. And last week, by the mercy of God, Alan Frost gave all the gears which he was using, very quite expensive ones, for the pioneering work, and fantastic thing that happened in New Plymouth. And my job was, finding the right people to do the right job, and God did that. And the second thing just came up to us soon after the conference. Somebody asked me to prepare butter chicken, for the conference. And in fact, I didn't prepare. The cooks in my church prepared the butter chicken. And one of the pastors who ate the butter chicken called me up the very next day and said, Pastor, your butter chicken was really tasty. And the butter chicken conversation went for the second pioneering church. The pastor who called me was Freedom from Takanini. He and his wife, when we started speaking, he said there's a lot of Indian diaspora living around Takanini, and they are not able to minister to those people. And I said, see, what we can do is we together can partner and work for the Lord. So last week we went into the place, prayed over the place. We have put a time frame. June 1st will be our launch Sunday of the Indian prayer meeting in Takanini for the Assemblies of God. How exciting is it? So wow. We are taking near about 15 of us from here in a van. We are going there 6 o'clock. We launch the prayer for Takanini. So great things. So here I am not the person who started everything, but it is God. But God brings in people together. So I found, rather than we doing all by ourselves, we find the right people who are living in that place, help them, support them, and God does the rest.
Pastor Binu, those are really, really exciting stories, I have to say. Let's just start off with the one in New Plymouth. So what birthed this within your heart? Like, what was it that got you started?
With the New Plymouth, I knew this man of God who was living in Auckland. His name was Robin. So he had a courier business. So he migrated to New Plymouth, and he was working for the Lord for the last 4 years in different areas. And now he's got a bunch of people who are ready, thriving, who are ready to do the extra thing for the Lord. And he kept in contact with me and said, see, whenever you are ready, Pastor, we are ready here. we want to explore the potentials that God has given to us in New Plymouth. Meaning, there are a lot of nurses from Kerala that have come to New Plymouth, and there are no Indian churches, no Indian churches. So finding, and those people, the wives can speak English, the husbands and the children can't. So we were helping them to find a place that they can come, pray in their own native language, build up a culture, and then from there give the Lord to many more people who are like that in the community. So
Okay, and so as the mother church, as it were, what were they looking for from you?
so three things probably. One is covering. We need to pray for them and support them in every aspects from administration. uh, they don't want our finances, which is very good. They are all self-sufficient, they're all working people. They tithe, and so they want us to be giving them a lot of covering, uh, helping them to pastor better. uh, the exact word probably will be discipling,
Right.
making they've seen what Bethel was doing here, and they have seen what we carry, and they wanted to replicate something there. So probably, yeah.
Okay, let's segue into discipleship for a moment. What is the Bethel approach? That around discipleship, disciple making.
We have a real good program for discipleship. So we our church is filled with mostly non-Christians. They come from Buddhism, they come from some of them from Muslims, and pretty much Hindus. And then we have a lot of people who come from the Catholic faith and all those type of things. They come, and so number one, they do not know the word. So we have groups that we put them in, which we call as cell groups, and there we give them that opportunity to build fellowship. They come together, they build relationships, and then we have Bible studies. So during the Bible studies, they explore the truth. They start learning the word. Once it is like, I found the light, so I need to show somebody the light. When a Hindu comes to faith, when they receive a healing, probably they know that Jesus is the healer. So they'll be just waiting for an opportunity to go to their family member or their neighbor to just say, Jesus is the Lord. So my responsibility is to build them up spiritually. They're already fired up to go and evangelize. So give them the tools of evangelism, give them the right words that they can speak. So one among the things that we teach in the church is love. It should be love language. Anything that you say to anybody should be in love language. And
And so just clarify that in
love language,
love.
a language that people are seeking for love. They want to be cared for. They want
Love.
Yeah,
Love?
yeah.
Oh,
Did you not
okay.
get it? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, sorry, Vinny. I just
Sorry,
didn't
it's all
quite
right.
grab that. Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, yeah.
Nice. So given that a lot of the people within the church, within Bethel, come from Hindu, Buddhist, non-Christian backgrounds, are there some particular challenges that you've faced as far as them discipling, or them being discipled?
The first thing that we find it hard is to grow them. You know, Mostly people come for their immediate reason to be met. For example, they don't have a job and they come, and we pray, fast, and pray for them. They find a job, and once they find a job, they just vanish.
Yeah.
Or healing, and they just vanish. So there may be 10 of them who will come, and only 2 or 3 stay back.
Okay. Okay.
So
Bit like the 10 lepers.
exactly, you got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. 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 Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, have you been intentional about that, or do you just kind of go, okay, well, 10 come, 2 or 3 stay. That's kind of the mathematics of the kingdom that we're working with.
Not really. That's where our frustration sometimes shows up,
Mm,
because we give the same effort, same time for all the 10 people, you know,
mm,
and our people, and the whole church does it, you know.
mm.
So to see one lost is one of the saddest moments, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we are like, oh, we got 3, so let's celebrate. No, we don't do that.
Mm,
We are hurt so much for the 7 that went off,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Mm.
that's.
That's good. And so, Binu, give us a little bit more around the cell groups that you run, like how they run, who leads them, how you develop the leaders.
So when we started our church, we started very small. So we use that principle even when we become big.
Mm,
So we keep that cell group very small.
mm.
When I say small, it may not look very small. It is 10 families
Right.
in,
Okay.
in
10
one
families.
cell group, 10 families. Um, and then we have mature Christians
Mm,
as leaders.
mm,
Some of the leaders who are taking care of the cell groups are either elders of the church
mm,
or the leaders who have walked with me for the last 18 years.
mm, mm,
So who have been groomed in the style that I
mm,
would love to see.
mm. Yeah.
They have stood the test of time.
Mm, mm.
So they've seen the style that I operate.
Yes.
So with these 10 families, we give them on a long run, not like 1 year. We just at least give them minimum 3 years of time
Right. Right.
for one cell group to operate. And
Mm,
if they're not fitting well, we can see that within 2 months, 3 months of time.
yeah.
And we will not throw them away, but we will move people from one cell to another and
Mm,
to see exactly where they fit.
mm.
So the cell groups happen twice in a month.
Right.
It happens in at homes,
Mm,
homes that can be able to contain these many people.
mm.
We don't give much importance for food,
Yep.
but people bring food.
Mm.
At the end of the evening, there is a celebration.
Yeah.
So there is a celebration. Even though I say no food, they bring it. That's the way we are. But it will be more of prayer and Bible study.
Mm, mm. Nice. And Binu, how are you developing? So you've got these leaders who've been with you for some time. How are you developing new leaders?
Okay, so with the new leadership, so we have the first tier leadership. So uh, the ones who are called elders.
Mm,
So we have 3 of them. Uh, um, that's away from me and my wife.
mm,
So we have two people, the husband and wife. When we say elders, they are not just individuals, they both work
mm,
as pairs. So
mm.
in fact, when I say 3 elders, we have 6 elders.
Yeah. Have you? Gotcha.
So and under these elders, we put through all the cell group leaders,
Mm,
and under every cell group leader, we build up from the 10 families 2 people as the new leaders.
nice.
We give them associate leadership.
Mm,
And in every month, one family gets the leadership to run the cell group.
okay. Okay.
So we'll try to build up leaders, yeah,
So you have a rotating leadership so everyone gets a chance to work
and
away.
to see who can fit in well as well, yeah.
Mm. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, let's move on from discipleship and disciple making and back to the butter chicken moment. So one of the things I'm hearing you talk a lot about, Binu, is around partnerships. So talk a little bit about the partnership you've developed with Freedom.
So I had never met Freedom. I've heard about his name. I never knew that he was a vibrant, passionate uh, man, wanting to explore.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think he's already pioneered a couple of churches.
Mm,
One
mm,
in Sydney, one in Pukekohe, and now
yeah,
in Takaninin.
yeah.
So, so probably he was praying for the Indian community out there,
Mm, mm,
because I understand the facility that they use, the netball center, has so many Indians coming and playing cricket.
mm,
So probably he would have started praying, and then the aha moment happened in the conference. Soon
mm.
after the conference, so when he found I was the Indian regional overseer,
Yes.
he wanted to build up a conversation probably, and he called me up to see who made the butter chicken and when, and when I said our team made the butter chicken, so the butter chicken started the conversation probably.
As it should, as it should, man.
It should it should probably. I think that was an icebreaker. you
Yeah.
know
Mm,
he can't just call me up and say, hey, we are having a plan to, so
yeah.
we started that conversation. And I think just like Elizabeth and Mary met, you know
Mm,
the
yes.
children in them started leaping. You got it?
Right, right.
So,
Cool.
so when I and Freedom started talking, I was in my bedroom when I was talking, and I was feeling, man, this is something quite exciting that is going to birth out.
Mm,
So I said, hey, we will catch up. We
yeah.
need to catch up. So we caught up a couple of times,
Mm,
just making structures of how it should look like.
yeah.
We wrote it, we scribbled it down,
Mm,
we cut it, we did not
mm,
like it, then we
yeah.
went back, and I said, see, Freedom, I'll pray, we'll fast and pray. So
Mm,
after a lot of fasting and prayer, I had a clear picture of how this thing should operate.
mm,
So after the fasting, we went back to Takanini last week. I said, see, Freedom, we went back and forth for a couple of months now.
mm, mm.
See, I'm talking about the conference. So
Yeah,
it's some
yeah, yeah,
time
yeah,
now. So
yeah.
it's some time. So we want to do something now.
Mm,
So we
okay.
had to strike some of the plans that we wrote,
Yeah.
and we said we nailed it down to June 1st and
Mm,
said we will give it a go.
awesome.
We fail, it's okay. We collapse, it's okay.
Yeah,
But at
yeah.
least we have given it a go.
That's great. That's great, Pastor. Hey, so talk me through. You've mentioned fasting and praying a few times. Talk us through how you use that practice as a part of your ministry.
Okay, I come from a family. My dad was a pastor with Assemblies of God.
Mm,
They used to go for long fasts.
mm,
Every year, at least twice, they go. My mom and dad used to go for 21 days fast.
wow, wow.
And when they go 21 days fast, it's no food for 21 days.
Mm,
And it was just water. And, being brought up in a family like that probably would have put that type of religious lifestyle in me,
mm,
a Christian lifestyle, and I give it to my children. My children
yeah.
do the fasting as well now. So,
Wow.
um, so once in a month we do 3 days full fasting.
Mm,
Twice in a year we do a whole week fasting.
mm,
Yeah. So people say one time meal I skip. We
yeah.
train it. For some people it's hard.
Yeah.
So I say try, just give a try.
Mm,
So some fast with me for the whole 3 days
yeah.
or the 7 days. Some at
Yeah.
least come for the prayer meetings.
Yeah. 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 Oh, that's awesome. And you've seen some great results as a
Absolutely.
through this. Mm, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just I'd love to hear because how many Indians are there in Aotearoa, New Zealand? Do you know?
Wow. So now the present statistics says that we are the third largest population of New Zealand at the moment.
Wow. Okay.
And out of that, only 1.8% are Pentecostals.
Wow. Okay.
So out of the population that has already made New Zealand their home,
Mm,
we are
mm.
only 1.8.
Wow. Wow.
So there's a lot of opportunities. We
Mm,
can't. If it was in India, if I go to a Hindu's house, speak about Christ, and they get offended, they can call up the police. I
Yeah.
can be arrested. I can be
Yeah.
going behind bars.
Yeah.
But that's not what is going to happen here. See,
Yeah.
God has given us that freedom and brought people miles and miles away so
Yeah.
that we don't have that fear to go
Yeah.
to a Hindu's house and give
Yeah.
gospel. So I wanted to use this opportunity. I don't know till when,
Yeah.
but as long as we have this freedom
Yeah.
that we can share about Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tremendous, Binu. What would you say, to those who are watching this video, who might be interested in a ministry, to people of Indian descent? What would be some of the keys?
Okay, so what we are planning right now as a Assemblies of God movement with the Indian community, we are buddying up as a team.
Yeah.
No, because we can't do it individually. We are not going to build up our kingdom. No,
Yeah. Yeah.
we want New Zealand, the Indians here in New Zealand, to be
Yeah.
one for the Lord.
Amen.
And so we are building up that platform. What I learn, I will give it to them. I train them. And
Yes.
what they're good at, I learn from them. So as a team, we are going to work. So next Monday, we are getting a beautiful Indian Hindu scholar coming and talking to us who is converted to Christianity.
Wow.
And he is going to talk from his perspective of how to win the Hindus
Wow.
and to follow them up. So I'm looking forward for that opportunity. And what we learn, we just transfer.
Yeah. Well, that's great. We'll look forward to following up on that a bit further down the track, Binu. And the other thing I'm just hearing from you is identifying leaders, those who are already operating out in the field, partnering with others who have the same heart, and also that key of loving people and making sure that through, whether it's through food, fellowship, prayer, fasting, whatever it is, teaching of the word, we're loving one another. So, Binu, just because we've mainly been focusing around faith adventures, and you kind of carry that very much as a part of your DNA. What would you say to other pastors who are thinking about, a faith adventure, maybe planting a new work or a new service, or pushing out with evangelism or whatever it is? What would you say to them? Just kind of some words of advice.
I think I would only say one statement. The one who is with me is greater than the one in the world. And never be disappointed. Don't be afraid to give a start. Sometimes you fail, sometimes you succeed. But failure and success is not to be seen in the worldly standards. We are operating the kingdom principle. So the kingdom principle is, have you invested that one talent that Christ has given to you? Have you invested it? And you lose it, master will understand it. But never be afraid to give a try.
That's beautiful, Ben. I really appreciate you, and I really appreciate you taking the time to share with us today, and pray that you're blessed, and you and your family and your church. So thank you, Binu, and
Thank you,
blessings.
Pastor Darren. And from an Indian way, namaste, and God bless you. Take care.
Thank you, sir.